we can get a reply from the audience, any message or a emoji, anything, Ritvik, over here? Is it possible?
Yes, sir. There is a reaction button with
Sure.
which you can give.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm not much of a WebEx user, so that's why I'm just confirming. So let me give you a brief background as to what I have done, and then we can talk more about startups. I I am from a very small town of Chhattisgarh, Mahasamund. I'm from a very small town, Mahasamund. Uh, I studied here, then I studied in Raipur. Then I went to IIT Kanpur in 2010. I did my BTech in Material Science and Engineering from IITK. I was also a part of the music club over there in the organizing team of the cultural festival Antaragni over there. So I played I was a part of those things. After that, I went on to work in Credit Suisse, that's an investment bank. For a year and a half sorts, I worked in Bombay. Then I co-founded my first startup called TapMe. There I met my co-founder, Snehanshu Gandhi. Uh, and we started TapMe, which was an on-demand home services venture where you could book an electrician, plumber, carpenter on call. We were operational in tier two cities majorly, and Vishakhapatnam was our first city where we launched TapMe. After that, we went on to Patna and Jaipur. We also did a revenue of $1 million, approximately 6 crores per year in TapMe. Then we did a lot of things. We did B2C, then pivoted to B2B. But sadly, at the end, we could not raise the following funding round, so had to shut down the company. Then in 2019, we started working on the Sorted AI idea. So Sorted AI was basically a smart reminders app where you could upload your documents and get automatic reminder from that. For an instance, you upload an insurance document or a bill, and on the date of renewal or a date of payment, you will get a reminder automatically from that particular document. So that was all what Sorted AI was about. But what we were facing that, so we came in full time in October 2019 and started building Sorted AI. But there were major issues around Sorted AI that people were not adopting the app as much as we would have wanted them to. So we thought that what was the major reason behind it? The reason was that people were not motivated enough to upload their documents and manage their documents at one place. But what we realized was that they were eventually scanning something. They were scanning it to share it with someone, or they were scanning it to just keep it on their phone, or they were just scanning it to do something with it. So we thought that let's build a basic scanner app and see how does it uh, evolve and how do people accept it. And coincidentally, at the same time, so approximately 2 to 3 weeks after we launched the KAAGAZ app, the Chinese apps got banned. And we got immense traction coming our way because in those 3 days when the apps got banned, we put all our marketing knowledge in what we knew how to make a product viral or how to do anything. And we just like pushed it with whatever we knew we had learned over past 5 years. In that same month, in July, we raised an angel funding from First Check. And then we went on to raise a seed funding from Pravega Ventures. So this has been my brief background. Just want to know how many of you want to actually do a startup? Like out of 30 people present here right now, how many of you actually want to do a startup? You can react or write or something on those lines. Yeah. We obviously have Ritik over there. Anyone else? Still waiting to see. Raju says yes. Glad to know that you are a part of this call. So let me tell you on what we are building in KAAGAZ, and then we can address the problem of like how to approach startup or what to work. So yes. So what we are building at KAAGAZ is for the mobile only user. A lot of us here, great to see a lot of yeses coming up. I can see in the chat. Glad that you all are here. So what we are building at KAAGAZ is basically an app which could which solves the problem of someone who has not used a desktop before. A lot of you have used the desktop before or are using it right now. You know the tools, how to use tools, and you know multiple things. But there are like 500 million plus people, that's 50 crore plus people in India who have never owned a laptop or a desktop. And they have come to the digital world straight via mobile. So that is our target audience. And that's why KAAGAZ app is super simple to use. You don't even need to sign up to use KAAGAZ app. If you want to share one document, just download, share. We don't want you to get involved in anything else in between. Second, this user that I'm talking about uses WhatsApp more and not email. So he's not on email, he's not on your Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive, they're not there. They use a plain vanilla WhatsApp for business, for personal, everything. This person is a non-search user. So for an instance, they go to various websites and see their recommendations that, okay, what they are telling me. So for an instance, Play Store, they go to Play Store and just search scan and then see what is Play Store recommending them. So they are not much of a search user. They would depend on the AI algorithm at the back end that whatever they suggest, they'll try this thing. Then they are not a non-text, so they are a non-text user. They prefer to talk via like voice notes, emojis, memes. So this is the sort of language that they are accustomed to. And obviously they are a non-English user. So they are more comfortable in their regional language, in Telugu, Tamil, Marathi, Gujarati, Hindi, but not in English. So that's what this audience is, and we call them Bharat users. So Bharat user is someone who has come to mobile from the desktop generation basically, and straight away have come to mobile. So what we are doing at KAAGAZ is we are building a document super app for Bharat. So basically easy to use tools for the 500 million plus Bharat users who don't have a desktop. Now, let me tell you a bit about what we have already like built at KAAGAZ. So we started with a scanner, which could do a basic image enhancement, convert to PDF and multiple things. Then we went on to see that these users need a PDF reader also in the same app. There are multiple different apps that we could offer, but they need one app which could address all their problems with documents. So we launched a PDF reader inside KAAGAZ as well. Then they don't have a laptop, they need of their import documents also. So we launched a folder system. We launched a cloud storage. Why? Because the Bharat user uses low-end mobile phones. They don't have a Samsung S20 or OnePlus 6T or 7. They don't have those phones. They have 16 GB or 32 GB phones, which would max out after 6 months. So they format it again. So that's why we launched the cloud storage also for them. And then we went on to launch the PDF tools where they would want to put some documents like compress PDF, merge PDF, small tools. So we have started adding those tools as well in the KAAGAZ app. As I mentioned before, KAAGAZ app is built for mobile in vernacular language. So we are available in 11 languages except English. And then it's organic part of the process. So for an instance, we have one feature in the app where you could just click on import from WhatsApp and get all your PDFs from WhatsApp in one click. So that is one of the things that we have brought in as well for this user. So this is what we are doing at KAAGAZ. Here are some of the recognitions that we got from Government of India. We got a shout out from in Man Ki Baat updates by Ministry of Education, and we also got a special mention in the App Innovation Challenge that happened last year. So this has been my journey with KAAGAZ. Now let us start like what I have learned over the years and how it can help you. So why startup? You need to think that question very deeply if you want to actually do a startup. Why do you want to do it? What is the core reason behind it? What is your approach behind it? Is it just because your friend is doing? Is it just because your dad told so? Is it just because you have an E-cell in college? That's not a solid enough reason. You need to come up with that one, like one proper reason that, okay, this drives me. This will make me do something. This will make me work 16 hours a day if needed. You need to look for that one reason. It could be anything. For me, there were two reasons why I am doing a startup. First, obviously, I like to solve problems. I like to solve any issue that has been given to me, be it any sort of an issue. If you give me that, okay, Gaurav, you have an issue like this, I will have some comment on that. So that is what I like. Second, from my childhood, I have seen my dad struggle with so much documents at house. Like we have almirahs filled with documents. Why? Because he runs a factory and he has to maintain a lot of documents. So we have almirah filled with documents, and he's always struggling to see something, to search through those papers. So those are my motivations to build KAAGAZ, to make life more efficient, basically. Um, Now let's go to what you should build. You should build something what people want. For an instance, the thing we were building at Sorted AI, everyone maybe liked it, but no one used it. So that was an issue while we were building Sorted AI. But at KAAGAZ, people want to use this thing. They want to talk about it. They are happy using KAAGAZ. So that is the difference between Sorted AI and KAAGAZ. So whatever you build, yes, you might have 10 problems. You would be facing 10 problems, but just a second, sorry. Yes, so you would be having 10 problems here and there, addressing them, but are all your friends having those problems? You need to think about that. Who else is having that problem? Would they use your product? Would they talk about it? Would they pay for it? You need to answer those questions before you start building something. Like whatever you build, just ask those questions to 10 of your friends. If out of 10, even 5 would want to use it, good enough. So that's a good number. If out of your 10 friends or 10 family members can be biased because you are their kid. Don't go to family members much. But your cousins, your friends, talk to them, understand what do they want from this product. Are they facing an issue? So you need to understand that would this product solve their issue by at least 5x? If they did that work in 10 minutes by some other medium, would this app solve their issue in 2 minutes? You need to think about that. For an instance, before these scanning apps were there, people were using those big scanners in offices or in stores. So you had to go, or you had to spend a lot of money doing it. But with scanning apps, it's in a click. You can scan and send. You can scan and send a piece of document here in a click. So that is what the 10x gap is. Sorry. So this is one of the most important things, that ideas are everywhere. You need to think more on execution, how you'll execute that idea. Before Facebook, there was MySpace, there was Orkut, there was whatnot. But why Facebook made it a killing out there? They executed it well. They executed it brilliantly. And now as well, Facebook is building for next 50 years. They have taken Instagram, they have taken WhatsApp. Now they are going more and more and more into the user's life. That is what Facebook is doing. Take Apple for an instance. They started with an iPod. Now they are doing what? So you need to think, you need to execute rather than just blabber about idea. I have seen a lot of people asking me, Gaurav, what if my idea is stolen? Believe me, 10 other people are thinking about the same idea right now, what you're thinking. If not 10, at least 2 other people are thinking about the same, ditto same idea, what you're thinking. We, we are a 700 crore people on this globe, right? Or more. I don't know. So at least two more are thinking the same thing what you're thinking right now to what you will build or the startup you want to do. So don't think much about your idea will be stolen. Just start executing it. Start working on it. If you're on Twitter, there was a series of posts on Twitter startup idea. Doesn't make sense, boss. You need to work and build that startup rather than just come out with 10 startup ideas. What will you do of startup idea if you're not building anything? Start building. Start doing whatever you can from the basic level. For an instance, if I wanted to start TapMe, TapMe was on-demand home services. If I wanted to start TapMe, I could have started it just with a Google Sheet. You don't need much. You just need a mobile phone and a Google Sheet. You can have 10 technicians work with you just on that. That's how normal businesses work. You don't need a coder to do everything. You don't need a developer for everything. So don't make excuses if you want to do, just start executing. Like that would be my advice to you. This is an important part as well, that you need to stay persistent. Like you need to keep hustling, you need to stay there. First startup didn't work out for us. Second product didn't work out for us. This is the third product we are building, KAAGAZ. Even in the first startup, we had multiple pivots. Even in Sorted, we had 2, 3 pivots. KAAGAZ, we are building. We are thinking what to build. So you need to stay in the game. You can't do like, Acha, it's been 3 months, nothing is happening, let's leave and take up a job. If that was the case, then you didn't have a strong why first. The point I mentioned before, you should have a strong why. If you have a strong why, this becomes comparatively much easier for you. Now let's talk about specific questions as to what entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs face, and then we'll open it up for questions. How to come up with an idea. That is one of the most asked questions around, I guess, that I want to do a startup, how to come up with an idea. Boss, look around. Like you would find something different out there. KAAGAZ was born just like that. We started looking around. We saw there was no proper Indian app doing this basic thing. Scanning is a basic tool. You should have a good Indian app which could do this so that your data is safe, so that you can make it regional. Adobe cannot make something which an Indian user in a tier 4 town will use. It will be difficult for them. But for us, it is easier because we know this janta. We know these people. We are born and brought up amongst them. So just look at those things where you could make a difference, where you could give a 5x at least sort of a return, and then go ahead. How to find co-founders? Look around you. Maybe Ritvik finds Utkarsh as a co-founder, or someone else in the call itself. You can find co-founders in your dorm rooms, in your hostels, wherever, as your friends. So co-founder is someone who you can trust blindly, who you can uh, talk about anything with that person, be it personal, be it professional. Don't, it's not like Yacha co-founder is a professional guy, founder is a professional life. I'll not discuss my personal life with him. It won't work that way. Because you are connected almost 16 hours in a day. You call up at 11, you have a random person idea over there, discuss it. So these things cannot happen if you don't discuss much with them. So a very good friend rightly told me a long back that co-founder is basically a sole partner but not married. So think about that. Think on those lines. He would know everything or she would know everything about you. So my co-founders, Snehanshu and Tamanjeet, we have been working together for past 6 years now. Especially with Snehanshu, it has been longer. With Tamanjeet also, but Snehanshu has been longer. He knows everything about me as to what I like, what I don't like, what I eat, what I don't eat. You'll get to know everything. If you're spending 6 years together as colleagues, also you'll get to know everything. You'll party together. You'll go out together. Everything. Like pick your co-founders properly. You should not have ego issues between the co-founders specifically. Ego issues kill the company. Even if you are not happy with the decision, convey it, why you are not happy or what is happening wrong over there. How to raise funding? Keep talking to people around you, keep talking to people in the startup ecosystem, keep talking to investors, reach out to them on LinkedIn. They respond. Believe me, they respond. The seed round we raised from Pravega Ventures, that was a cold call from our side. It was not a warm intro or nothing on those lines. People respond. You need to reach out, you need to be persistent. That's it. You can't take the route that, okay, I know Gaurav, he'll introduce me to 10 people. Why will I introduce you to 10 people? You're not my best friend. So think about that, that why will anyone introduce you to 10 people before you have put that much of effort? If you come up to me and say, Ki, Gaurav, I have tried reaching out to 50 people, they are not responding, can you please help me? Definitely I will. But if you're not reaching out to anyone and just messaging me, that won't help. So keep talking to people, start reaching out. Cold calls help. Write a small good message on LinkedIn, send with the connection request, people respond. Believe me, they respond. So yeah. The most important part of pursuing a startup is only pursue one in the family is dependent on you. If people are dependent in the family on your earnings or on what you make, I'd say work a couple of years, save some money, and then pursue a startup. Startups are difficult. Money is difficult. You can't just just don't stay in that world that okay, KAAGAZ has raised 4 crore funding. Gaurav would definitely have a Mercedes in the driveway. It doesn't happen, boss. We get paid sustenance salaries. We don't get paid enormous salaries. You will not be paid enormous salaries. You will be paid sustenance salary if you are building an app and you get funded also. You will be paid good amount after what series C, D funding. In series A as well, you'll not be paid an enormous amount. You don't get money in your bank. Money is in the company's bank account where you spend the money for multiple things happening out there. And yeah, so think about it. If you're not financially stable, I'll suggest you don't do a startup right now. It is difficult. Believe me, 6 months you will not feel anything, but after 6 months, when you feel the pinch, when your dad asks you, Gaurav, can you buy me this? And you say no, it's not a good day. So think about it. Financial stability is important. Think about it. What if I don't like it and just want to do a job? No problem at all, boss. There is Satya Nadella. There are who, what not. So Sundar Pichai, Satya Nadella, they are not entrepreneurs. They have done job and excel to that level and running $1 trillion companies now. $1 trillion companies. So it's okay. Matlab, if you don't like it, don't want to do a job, it's completely fine. You can raise to much higher ranks than a startup co-founder also. Just put your heart out there and that's it. That is what you have to do. So the last point from my end, there is actually no right or wrong. Nothing. It is just what you do, what you like to do. If you are happy with it, everyone else should be. Just keep uh, pushing yourself and be a better version the next day, even if not the next day, next week. Be a better version of you next week at least. That's also okay. So that's it from my side. That's it. Would love to take up questions from all of you out there and answer if I could be of any help. And we have a small gift for you as well at the end of call. I'll let you know.
Well, so this was really very, very informative. And I actually did have few questions, but you already answered most of them inside the chat box. It's the one which you discussed right now. So we do have one
Great.
question.
So
Yes, sir.
yes. No,
Yeah, we
like
do.
the people in the call can ask questions if there are anything. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anything.
There is a question from Utkarsh.
Okay.
He says, Sir, as you mentioned, what challenges we face in Indian market when we do a startup, and how do you build a successful customer base?
Challenges that you might face is that Indian people won't pay easily. Getting money out of Indian audience, so we have what, 30 people out here. If I ask that, okay, from tomorrow KAAGAZ will be paid, they'll be like, no, I'll use Adobe Scanner. I'll move from KAAGAZ. So Indians are very cost conscious. So you need to be very precise as to how you will make money and what you'll do with that. On the same hand, Indians are pretty supportive. So we have had multiple cases where people just write about us on Twitter, on LinkedIn. People go ahead and shoot their comments, their appreciation posts, or how we are building KAAGAZ, or talk about us. So it's a mix, I would say. So while building for Indian audience, know about it. So it's not much on the Indian audience thing. You should know your user. You can build it for US as well. You can build it for Israel as well now. It's okay. Nothing matters in this post-COVID world. Nothing matters. People are hiring engineers in the US and startups are running in India. That is what also is happening now, because Indian market has gotten so expensive for particular job profiles that people are hiring engineers abroad now, and they are working for Indian startups. So it could be anything you can build for anyone. Just keep talking to your user, keep talking to who you're building for. For an instance, we have almost 3 lakh people who use KAAGAZ on a daily basis. Still, the customer support is on my phone. That is what we try to keep. If I am not available, my co-founders handle that. We don't have a customer success executive or something like that. We handle it ourselves. Yes, some part is done. So, for an instance, uh, Nipsa here works with us, who is on the call also. She handles the, the reviews which we get on the Play Store, but she directly reports to me, and then we take a call as to what to respond, what not to respond. So keep talking to your users and keep uh, getting feedback from them. That is the best thing that you'll do, and subsequently build your product. So yes, I hope that answers your question, Utkarsh.
I think he's having some internet connectivity. So I do have one question because
Sure.
recently, privacy after Google has come under U.S. Constitution jurisdiction,
Yeah.
there has been a lot of privacy issues as to why these applications are free. They say if you are using a free product, then you are the product, right? And you hear Kaagaz Scanner is a completely free product which is available. And
Right.
if there are high number of advertisements, which at least you try to balance it out for revenue, people will stop feeling interested in using those. Because those banners are again, you're not choosing those advertisements, right? That is
Right.
something which again,
Right.
you're giving it for the API. So how do you balance? Like how do you balance between the
So
market?
firstly, we have no ads on KAAGAZ app. It's a zero ads app,
Yes.
completely free to use. Now, base version of KAAGAZ does not, so we incur no costs with that basic version of the KAAGAZ app. It's completely offline, it completely works on your phone. So the only cost that we incur is marketing and what we are building. So those are the major costs. Secondly, what we are launching is we have launched cloud storage. So we give a humble 250 MB free cloud storage if you sign up with KAAGAZ. After that, if you want more cloud storage, you need to pay us. So that is the one monetization model that we are bringing along. There will be multiple layers and multiple models will come in the future. But the first part where you don't need to pay, and it's rightly said that you are the product if you're not paying anything. But those all apps need internet access. They need server access. They need everything. We don't need all of that. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with KAAGAZ, if you use KAAGAZ, you upload 1,000 documents also. And if you're not signing up, I don't even know your name. I don't know your number. I don't know what you're uploading. It's all on your phone. You switch off the data and start using KAAGAZ. You can use KAAGAZ without data also. So that is why here you are not the product, because the product is completely on your phone only. If you use cloud storage, then you upload the documents on cloud, and that is also a very low cost for us. So the major cost here is marketing for us, which we will compensate with the paid users plan that we are trying to get.
So that is your mainstream that you're trying to get money from is paid
Sure.
users.
So we are experimenting on that. We will soon see something, I guess.
Okay. Thank you for that, sir. And here, Raju Yadav who wants to ask a question. Raju, you
Sure.
can speak up and ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, Raju.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you're
Raju. Yes.
audible, Raju.
Uh, Hello. Good evening, sir. Sir, myself Raju Yadav, a Joint Secretary of E&I Cell in NIT Andhra Pradesh. Sir, currently I'm in second year. So, sir, my question is, sir, actually I've thought one of my idea. Actually, it's very interesting. I personally feel it, but I found it's already exists, sir, in my country only. Uh, I think it's not that much broad. It's not spread throughout the India. But I found a lot of problems, same problems found in my cities, and I want to go through it. So, will it be good for me to go? Means, will there be any chance that I will be claimed by them, or any? Can you suggest any legal procedure through which I can save myself, or as they are a big
Legal
company? I think.
procedure, why do you want a legal procedure? You're building your business. Like, I don't see any issue in addressing any problem or building. So, for an instance, you want to build a company like Ola in your city. Why would there be a legal procedure required? It will not be required unless you use the same name to build it. Unless you keep the same name that, okay, I'm building Facebook in India. You can't do that. You can build whatever social networking platform that you want to build. Right. Second, you need to see that why will people switch to your platform and not use that platform, which already exists. Think about that why will they use your platform? Yes, there are issues everywhere. People need everything everywhere. But if it's a billion-dollar company already, if it's a small company, doesn't matter, launch it. But if it's a billion-dollar company already and then you launch from like zero, why will people use your product? You need to have a strong motivation for the user. So think about those, that how you can differentiate from that particular company, because that's a billion-dollar company. They may come in your city any day, but you need to have your moat as to why you are building it, what you are building, how is it different from them. So yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I would like to ask second question. Is it? It is, sir. Actually, my idea is based upon means online only website, creating website or running through application. So should I first learn about the programming language, or how should I get the people to work upon it? Like as a beginning,
So
I do not have that much financially strong. I'm not, so I'm thinking how to
so
overcome.
if you want to build a tech startup, you should know tech. That's my understanding. That's how I think about it. There are a lot of no code tools also, where you don't need to know coding to build something. So you can also try using some no code tools out there and try building something. So just Google for no code tools and you'll see something over there. But still, if you want to build something on the tech side, then you should know a bit of tech at least.
Thank you, sir.
I hope that answers some of your questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
No problem.
Thank you, Raju Yadav. We right now have one more question, sir. This is from Alok Singh.
Can you please mute? Someone who there's some noise by
Host, can you please
Daisy.
mute the person?
By Daisy. Yeah.
Daisy ma'am, can you please mute yourself?
Yes. So Ritvik, the question you were asking?
Yes, sir. This question is from Alok Singh.
Sure.
He wants to ask this. How to start, sir? Like, what's the strategy to start? If you don't get any support from other, still you think your idea is good and it will work. So he basically wants to know, like, how do you want to start when you're not getting any support from people around you, and the strategies for
So
that.
you don't actually need support from people around you. You just need a validation on your idea. Just keep talking to people. So with COVID out there, post-COVID has become, or everyone has gone online. There are so many platforms. You could conduct polls on LinkedIn. You could create content on Twitter. You can start vlogging on YouTube. There are so many platforms to actually check what you're building makes sense or not, at least to some user. To start that, to get that basic validation in place that, okay, 5 people will use this particular thing or not. So think on those lines, I would say. Talk to those 10 initial users and start building. But if you talk to 100 people and no one wants that product, then you need to think again about it as to who will then use your product. Are you talking to wrong people, or is the is that or does that particular product need some tweaking? So think about all those things, and you'll definitely get some good answers there, I would suggest.
Alok, I hope that answers your question. Yes, sir. Additionally, I have one.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Okay, sir. I have
Yes,
one
Ritik.
question from my side, sir. Sir,
Sure.
sir, usually the world runs in a way that people only care about what you're doing at that moment, right? Like at that moment, what are you, right? So right now, if I start a company and if I'm going ahead with my own tasks, taking example of how Google took over Yahoo, sir. Like I am Yahoo in this case. My application is running properly itself, and Google came and then disrupted the entire system of how Yahoo used to work, right? So if I'm facing a competitor who is extremely strong and has a lot of financial support, and I'm still in my startup level area, like within 1 to 2 years of my company, so how to defend myself, and at the same time, how to like achieve a stage where no one will be able to reach my level again.
So, Ritvik, here you need so that's what investors and startup founders call moat. So, what is your moat? You need to think about that. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
you need to think about what's your moat. And a lot of people told us that what if Cam Scanner is launched tomorrow? What will you do? But what we now have is that 300, 3 lakh people use KAAGAZ on a daily basis. A lot of them are users. KAAGAZ from months. Them now, they are our moat. The users are our moat. The features that we have built over time, that it's a no sign-in app, it's completely offline, your data is not uploaded anywhere. Those are our particular moats. So whenever you build something, you work on something, you need to build some moats. But at the end, if Google comes in building the same exact product what you're building, it will obviously get difficult for you. I cannot just say that, okay, keep building and something will happen. That won't happen. So that's plain simple luck over there. So for an instance, if the Chinese apps were not banned, would we be having this call? I'm not sure. What numbers would we be at? Maybe 500,000 or 1 million maximum, but definitely not 7 million number with a scanning app. So luck also plays some role, but you need to think about a lot more things out there and start building your moat whenever possible. Okay, this is my moat. This particular thing is what differentiates you from them. I hope that answers some of your questions.
Yes, it does. I know you are quite a bit tired from speaking so long, sir, but we just have one
No,
more
that's
question.
okay. Tell me. Yeah.
We have one question from Harshita. She says, "Sir, as we know, SEO is the most important thing for any company. How can we develop good SEO? What points to keep in mind?"
You should Google it, Harshita. That will be better. One thing that I suggest you is that be consistent. That is what matters. There are many online free things that you can leverage. There are various listing platforms that you can leverage where you can put your website for free of cost over there and list over there, get a backlink from there. So it's pretty so be consistent, develop good content. So while developing for SEO specifically, you need to think that what would people search, or what is that keyword or a phrase that people are searching, and start developing content on those particular keywords or those statements or those questions. Don't just develop for the sake of it that, okay, I'm making a scanner app. I'll make 50 pages with scanner keyword in that. Doesn't make sense. What if no one searches about it? How will you rank up? So what maybe you can do is how to convert images to PDF. That is what people search for. There should KAAGAZ come up. So that is one example. You can think more on those particular lines as to what exactly would people search for and how that can help in bringing up your ranking of that particular page. Because it's not just about the keyword, it's also about how much time does that person spend on your particular page. If they are spending like 2-3 seconds and getting out because of your shitty website, you will not get any good juice from that particular page. So yeah, that will be my one advice, that build like put content which anyone would read and get some answer from. So yes.
And thank you, sir.
So like before we move on to like another question, I'll just we have a small gift for you, for all of you who are here. So if you download KAAGAZ app, just sign up with this code today and you'll get 100 MB free additional cloud storage. If any one of you like needs a scanning app or uses a scanning app, just like use this code on KAAGAZ app. And if you are active on any social media, like reach out to us, tag us, write about us. Would love to get support from any one of you out here.
Just a second, sir.
Yes, Ritvik.
I'm
Like
just taking
you
a
can go with
screenshot
more
of it.
questions as well. Great. If anyone has more questions, we can take that as well. And be active on some social media. That's my one advice. If you want to pursue entrepreneurship, be active on one social media so that people know you and you know what's happening around. Yeah, please.
Yes, sir. I hope that answer satisfies Harshita. Raju Yadav is back again with more questions. So, yes. Raju Yadav, you can continue and you can ask your question too, sir.
Hello, sir. Sir, my next question is, sir, currently, as we see, sir, advertisement is playing a very major role in to address our startup or our ideas or anything we have started. So, can you tell that how to start? How should we start advertising in the beginning? Means if we are having a zero funded, just started.
Zero
Any
fund,
platform?
you can't do ads with zero funding, Raju. That is not advertisement then. It's a plain like messages, content building. You could do multiple things without funding also. So it's not ki bhai you always need funding to do something. You could do multiple things without funding as well. Right on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn, I have seen people generating so many leads out there. It's amazing what people do. So write on LinkedIn, write on Twitter, develop your own brand. If you don't have money, develop your own brand. At least you can do that. So yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, my next question is, sir, before having startup, sir, should we have to know about the industrial experience, or directly we can start our startup like?
Obviously you need to know something, right? What you're building, you need to know the industry, what you're building for, and who you're building for. So the startup is not just a word that, okay, I'll do a startup. It is a company that you're building. It is a problem you're solving. So you need to know who else is solving that problem. What is my competition out there? Who is paying for that problem? Will people actually pay for that problem? How will you make money on that problem? So you need to think about everything. It's not just, I'll do a startup from tomorrow. It's you're building a company. You're building a factory. Think about that how much effort goes down in building a factory. Similar effort will be required to build a startup. There they take loan and run their factories. Here you sell your equity and run your startup. So think on those lines. I hope that addresses your problem.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, my next question is, sir, uh, how you are handling the negative feedback on your app, sir?
I told that one thing. Why? You need to have a solid why to handle all these things. If you have your why, that will motivate you through everything. Have a strong why, have a good support system, be it your parents, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whosoever, your fiance, whosoever it is. Be have that one person who supports you always, or to like there should be that emotional support. And secondly, you should have a good why as to why you're building it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Utkarsh.
Uh, Sir, actually, we would like to know regarding the KAAGAZ team, other founders' contribution, your next planning, and also what are your future goals, and sir, some bonus tip for us, sir.
Some
Bonus
bonus
tip for us. Tip for
tip?
us.
I have given a lot of tips, Utkarsh. I'm out of tips, I guess now. So you can ask if anything particular, but I'll tell you, we are a seven-member team. Three founders are there, four team members are there, a couple of interns are working with us. So that is what the team structure is right now. I work on growth and marketing side. My co-founder Snehanshu, he's basically the CEO of the company. He's the product guy. He looks after KAAGAZ product as to what should come in, what not should come in. He deals with investors. The third co-founder Tamanjeet looks after technology, like everything. I don't know I don't know even ABC of tech. He handles everything. So like we are three co-founders. Then we have a marketing team, design team, technology team. So those three teams, four people are there, employees. So that's what the team structure is. What we are building is that we are building a document super app right now. You will see a lot new features coming up in the next few weeks, next few days. So currently we rolled out cloud storage, PDF tools, and so much more will will come up over there. And what else was the question? Like, can you repeat? Anything I've missed over here? Yep. So that's what we are building. And the tip that you asked, one tip I'd like to reiterate is keep hustling, don't stop. Keep reaching out to people. Matlab, in Hindi, if I'll tell, You need to, so not in Hindi, just keep your ego at home. Don't take your ego everywhere that I am Utkarsh. No one cares, boss. It's such a big world. There are so many people out there. There's Bill Gates, there's Warren Buffett. No one cares who Utkarsh is. No one cares who Gaurav is. So with every step, you'll see that, okay, my startup has raised. Should I have more ego? No. Don't have any ego. Stay grounded, stay humble. That is where you get the best of feedback available out there on your particular product. If you go out with your ego that, okay, I am founder of KAAGAZ app, I have 7 million downloads, who are you to tell me what to build, what not to build? No, that will not solve your problem. Your problem is to understand what that user is facing, what issue that user is facing. Why? Because there could be multiple reasons why he has a low cost mobile phone, and maybe KAAGAZ is not optimized for that. So we need to know that particular thing, because out of the 7 million people who have used KAAGAZ or downloaded KAAGAZ, only 100,000 have rated KAAGAZ. Only 1 lakh have rated. So it's not about that who is facing problems. So if 10 people face a problem, only 1 will actually report it. So talk to your users, talk to everyone, be humble. That's one tip you should keep always with you. So yeah, that's it. I may be wrong. I'm not any startup guru or anything. There are much more educated and experienced people than me. So yeah.
Thank you for your response.
Sure, Utkarsh. Do we have any more questions, Ritvik?
No, sir. That's it.
Great.
Thank you, sir. For the past 1 hour, we might have troubled you a lot with questions continuously, but it did help us a lot in understanding, how startups work, because we have received presentations before, but yours was a really brief and in a way that was understandable in an easier way. The easiest way to put it was understandable because the entrepreneurs which we have met before, which we have seen, they all had a different level of expertise. They had a different way of explanation, and yours will be almost uniquely different in comparison to all those. So,
Glad to know that I could be of help. So yeah.
thank you, sir. And
Do use KAAGAZ. Just one shout out from my side. Please use KAAGAZ if you're not
I
using
have it
it.
downloaded, sir. I have it downloaded.
And even if you don't want to use KAAGAZ, give us a shout out on social media. Like, please support us. So that's the one thing that I'm asking of you. Rest, like, best of luck to all of you. May you become unicorns, decacons, and whatnot out there. Make good money. Like, make your legacy. That is also what startup is all about. It's not making money. The primary goal here should be making your legacy, making something what people actually use and will remember you for. So that is what startup is all about, like leaving your legacy behind. That even after 5 years, even if KAAGAZ is not there, even if we are shut down, at least few of you will remember that, okay, there was an app called KAAGAZ where we met Gaurav. So that is what startup journey is all about. Share your experiences, talk to people. Yeah, don't stay in your cocoon. If you stay in your cocoon, how will you develop? So yeah, that's it, I guess. A lot of gyan from my side. So I hope some of it helps.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to give chance back to Premlata ma'am. Ma'am, if you have any doubts regarding this or anything that you want to convey, please carry on.
Yeah, Gaurav, it was a very nice session. I hope our students enjoyed your session because they are very near to your mindset and opinions. And then, in fact, people got a very good real example. And Hope we are looking forward for your sessions a lot. We'll take your help certainly. And I think students will also be curious for your sessions, in fact. And Ritvik, I'll speak once with Shankar sir. Are you available, sir? Dr. Shankar sir, Associate Dean. Sir,
It was very nice session.
can we? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Sir, do you want to speak, or can we officially give a vote of thanks?
You can give the vote of thanks, but the session I just want to give my feedback. It was a session where it was very nice, sir. Actually, as Ramalati was told, like, it was connected to our students. The way you have given the examples, as from your experience, it was a thought-provoking. Thank you for giving your time and interacting with our students. Of course, even I installed the KAAGAZ app now. So, yeah, so I also promote this KAAGAZ app and I forward to my friends. Thank you. Thank you.
Glad to know, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Ritvik, 1 minute. Ritvik?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
1 minute. I thank Dr. P. Shankar sir, Associate Dean, Research and Consultancy, for joining us and was leading us from past 3 days, including today, 4th day. Right, sir was sparing a lot of time for our event, guiding us and mentoring us, both the students and as a faculty who are working under him. And I also thank Dr. K. Kartikeya Sharma sir and Dr. Himabindu ma'am. Kartikeya Sharma sir is from Mechanical Engineering Department. Sir is Assistant Professor. And Himabindu madam is Assistant Professor from Computer Science Engineering Department. And there are other faculty members who are already available over here. And last but not the least, the student members are one of the best audience for us. They always have very good questions. We hope we'll organize best events like this, and we expect the same sort of participation from you. In fact, in good numbers too also. We are looking forward for this. We are very optimistic in this particular scenario. And I also like to thank Lipsa. She was the one who coordinated for all the things. Thank you very much for whatever information I used to ask. She used to communicate so patiently. Thank you, Lipsa. It was very good journey with you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Ritvik, you can officially go ahead.
I request all of you turn on your video so that we can have a stand.
Shankar sir?
Yes, over to you. Over to you, madam.
Yeah, Ritvik, please carry on.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Gaurav sir, again, I don't have very much to say because Premlata already concluded it. So I'll just end this session right now by thanking you, and hope we can connect on LinkedIn. I'm actually on LinkedIn, and I hope our students also can connect back to sir on LinkedIn.
Yes, just
And
drop
we're
some
definitely
message.
promoting that.
Drop some right, like whatever, why you want to connect, or drop a line over there, because there are so many random requests every day. Drop a line over there, why you want to connect, what do you want to understand, or just want to connect. I am from NIT Andhra Pradesh. That is also okay. So just drop a line when you send a request so that I know you were in this session. So yeah.
Sure, sir. We'll definitely do that, sir, and I hope every single participant here also does the same. First,
Great.
and again, sir, I've already told this.
All good, man.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Best
Thanks
of luck
a lot.
to all of you. Best of luck to all of you, and that's it.
That's
Thank
also
you.
like,
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you
Yes,
all. We'll be ending the session for today and hope we'll get the same sort of participation for the next events. Thank you all. Have a very great weekend.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ritvik. Shankar sir,
I
thank you,
thank
sir.
this. I thank. Yeah, I thank Dr. Premlata for extending her support in all the dimensions. I thank all the E&I coordinators, though they are very new to this, this team. Like they have become a team just 4 days back, I think. But you have did a tremendously very nice job. I request you to do this kind of job in for future events. So thank you one and all.
Thank you all. We are closing.